We're cooking in Poppy's kitchen. Homemade tartar sauce, homemade fish batter.
Got off. He came back, got it, and he got off.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Summertime Kev, and you're watching Kevin 11 Outdoor Adventures. This is an adventure I had last week, and it was catching fish and cleaning them and cooking them. And at the very end, there's 2 secret recipes that you are gonna not want to miss that make this the best cleaning cook you've ever had. Follow me along. I'm gonna take you through a little bit of a journey, and we'll get to the end, and we're gonna enjoy this fish. See ya.
Right by the top. And we're looking for crappie, so I've had to anchor. It's so windy. Got the first one on board. He's little, but it's so windy that I'm not able to use the trolling motor because I didn't have time to charge it. Barely has any charge, but that's okay. I think I can hold the anchor here, and they're all below me. In the way the wind's blowing me around in circles, and I'm over them, I'm not over them, I'm over them, I'm not over them, which is fine too. So they hit this. I got the heaviest jig head I got on, and I had hits immediately as I went down. So I see them down there. We'll see if there's any more big ones. They're on the bottom. That's one in the boat. Couldn't do the jet ski today, just too windy. I guess I could have anchored, but I don't have a good as Garmin sonar on it. I mean, I could find the fish. I probably could have anchored, but this is a little bit more comfortable. I thought it was going to rain. Now it doesn't look like it's going to rain. So I'm just going to vertical. I had another bite. I'm just going to vertical fish because they're swimming everywhere. There's a ton of stuff on the bottom right here. Oh yeah, I can see him on the side scan. Bunches of them. Oh, he's got a little girth to him. There's a keep. Holy moly. That's 11 or 12 right there. Okay. That's one keeper. And he's right out there. I saw him on the side scan. We put a couple of keepers on the boat, but didn't catch very many. But now we got this storm raging right there, so we're gonna head in pretty quick here. A lot of fish out there. Here's a good tree. They don't have any fish on it, but it's still a good tree. Let's get her going here. All right. We're gonna put her in gear and get going. pretty dark that way. Yeah, I hear the thunder now. All right, let's get this puppy on the trailer, quick. Got really ugly back there really quick. Very ugly. I don't know. I got the trailer backed in ready to go though. So wind blown all day, and now what do you get?
Oh, it's calm, yeah.
No.
Now the storm's coming. Now
That's-
the storm's coming.
I'm telling you, that's crazy. It's coming, but we got to put this on and get out of here. Need some boat buckles. There may be a little lightning up there, I'm not really sure. Oh, here's Look at there, I feel the rain. Last one's here, let's roll, baby. It's coming right there. Woo! Let's turn this off. We got dinner in there, in the live well. Oh yeah, got dark over there. Goodbye lake. Goodbye storm. Whew, let's get it going here.
So we made it home fine through the storm. It wasn't raining as bad at my house, so I was able to get the cover on the boat and all that good stuff. So this is the next afternoon, and this is the good part. This is the cooking and eating part. You're gonna love it. We caught a few bass, and then we caught a few crappie. Well, let's get started. That's a big fish. They're not super thick, but you know, that's a big fish right there. I'm just gonna film a couple of them so you see how I do it. It's a pretty simple process, especially if you have an electric knife. You just want to put your knife behind this fin here and behind that gill plate and go this way. And then turn and just go along that backbone. Just follow that backbone all the way out. And you can get a piece of meat right there. Now I left a little meat on that, and I'm trying to go a little deeper on this one. This side here. Looks like my electric knife is getting a little dull. It'll cut right through the rib cage and everything. So we got those off of there. Then I'm going to take my fillet knife and I'm going to take that skin off. And to do that, I'm going to lay it flat, put my fingers right here, put the fillet knife going in, hit the skin, and just tilt it down the whole way and just kind of pull it. And you do have to kind of saw it back and forth to get it to go through because you're up against that skin, but you're going to point it down the whole way. which puts you right on the skin. Because crappie don't have a bloodline in them, like say some of your other fish. It does, but it's very, very thin, and you won't even notice that. Doesn't make any difference. And then you get the ribs here. And I'm just gonna go in real quick and pop these ribs off. These aren't the thickest crappie I've ever caught, but they are good sized crappie. We threw a whole bunch of little ones back. When I mean little, 10 inches or so. So I'm just gonna keep some good strips. And that's what you're gonna end up with. Really nice thick fillet. And I'm gonna put them here, and I'm gonna have to get a different knife. This fillet knife is not sharp at all. It is terrible. I'm gonna have to get either sharpen this one or get another one. So we get that skin right off of there. I'm gonna go in this way. The bones come up like this, so I'm just gonna go in here and slice them off. Feel right here to make sure I didn't leave any bones. 2 fillets. Show you, gonna do one more. I'm gonna do one more with just the knife. This is a good sized fish too. So again, we go underneath this fin, right behind the gill plate. Cut down straight up to the shoulder till it stops. And don't go too deep down here because that's where the guts are. Take the tip of your knife, make sure there's no scale on it, and run it like a small part of it right down the backbone. You don't want to go all the way through. Just feel that bone and get your cut started. The sharper the knife, the easier it is. This one's doing okay. It's still not very sharp. And when I get right here, I push it all the way through. You're gonna see it come out here, right here, and then I tilt down and get all that good tail meat off of there. So once you've got this, then you can go back and just kind of open it up till you get to that rib cage. You can cut through the rib cage or you can go around it. I'm gonna go around it this time. Crappie are delicious eating fish. They're light, they're not fishy at all. They cook easy. They cook in just a couple of minutes. And you can batter them, you can fry them, you can just sear them in oil and some spices. They're really good. They don't need a lot of spices, and when you bread them, they don't really need egg and breading because I mean it would be because you're not getting a real thick piece of meat off of these, so you kind of overwhelm the meat. If you put a lot of say you do flour, egg, panko or something like that, that's a whole lot of breading on these and they don't need it. And you could do it like that if you like it. Now this one was a little bit thicker fish, plus I can get a little bit thicker, quite a bit thicker piece of meat when I do it with my fillet knife. Just takes a little bit longer. And I almost got around all those ribs. Here's a few. So there we go. That's how easy it is to do that one. Knife. You don't leave any meat. Look at that. That's all the way up towards the bone.
This next section is speeded up so you can see how it's done one more time. Repeat for every fish. All right, guys. So that's 2 ways to clean these fish, and you can do a lot of fish like this, not just crappie. But that's you can use an electric knife. Go ahead and just take off all the ribs and just cut all the way down, and then trim off the ribs. Or you can use just a fillet knife and go around the ribs, or you can cut through the ribs if you want to. I usually go around the ribs. Typically, I can get a lot more meat when I use the fillet knife. It's just a little bit more finesse. I did the same thing for, I think I have 7 or 8 crappie there. And I'm not going to show you anymore, obviously, because you've seen how to do it. It's pretty detailed. So let's get to cooking. All right, you guys, we got that done, and we have a pile. I mean, a pile of fillets. I think 7 fish, that's 14 fillets. And they just look beautiful. I mean, just fillet after fillet after fillet. We're going to eat those in about 5 minutes. This is called a McKev fillet of fish, and I promise you it's going to be 1,000 times better than McDonald's, and it's going to be the best fish fillet sandwich you've ever made at home. The 2 main keys are homemade fish batter and homemade tartar sauce. Check out the recipes below in the description. The batter is Long John Silver's. You gotta try it, and I guarantee you're gonna agree with me. This is the best fish sandwich you've ever made. All right, you guys, I've said this many times in the past. Prepare everything before you start cooking, especially if you're doing fish. This fish is only gonna take maybe 2 to 3 minutes per side at the most. It just depends on how hot your grease is and how thick the fillets are. So make sure and check out the recipes below. I'm going to show you
what that batter's made out of and what this fish is being fried in. Basically, you're going to dip it in flour first, and that's just plain flour. You can add salt to it if you want to, but I don't. And then I'm going to dip it in the liquid batter, and that's a Long John Silver secret recipe batter, because they don't give that out, the recipe that is, but people have figured it out, and so I figured it out along with them. And then you dip it in there and drip it off a little bit, and then you're going to put it in 350 to maybe 375 degree oil. And once again, I've been talking about cast iron and how well it cooks, especially if you're frying something, because it will hold the heat. And then just let it drain a little bit, dip it, drain it, and then put it in the batter. And then once it turns that golden brown, just pull it out, and it is completely done. It is fantastic. The amount of crispiness and lightness that you're going to just love it. And then you can do whatever you want to do with it. You can put it on a salad. You can put it in a sandwich, and just however you want to eat it. You can just eat it plain and dipped in tartar sauce. Oh, the tartar sauce that I'm using also is a special secret recipe, and I'm going to put the recipe below for that too. It is really that simple, and I like to use a good bun that will kind of hold up. I like brioche buns, and I like to toast them. So you're fixing to see me toast my bun, fry the fish, put it together, and eat it, and it is that simple. It's best to have enough grease in your pan that they're completely covered when you drop them in, and then they start floating when they're done, and then you just get them to the color that you like. So they will turn a little bit more dark when you get them out of there, so kind of gauge that a little bit. Also, this is why you want your everything ready, because you want to take these out, and they're going to be really, really hot, but you don't want them to cool down 5 minutes, you know, maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then you want to get them on your sandwich and get them in your mouth, and that just makes them even better. I put a little salt on them when they first came out in case I just want to eat them in tartar sauce, which I did because I only made one sandwich. I like using a brioche bun or a bun that has a little bit of substance to it. Toast that bun. That's another key. Now, the McKev filet of fish, it has the homemade tartar sauce on it, has a half a piece of cheese, and 2 big chunks of fish. And then that's it. Top it and enjoy it. I would actually plan on making 2 of these for each person because they're not super filling, even though they've got the 2 big chunks of fish on it. They're just so good. Now, if you have a really big Kaiser bun or something like that, you might can get more fish in it, but I also wouldn't go with a super heavy bun. I love the brioche bun because they hold up, they toast good, they taste delicious, and they're not too big or they're not too small. Homemade batter and homemade tartar sauce on there. I'm diving into that one right there. Oh my goodness. That is perfect. I wish you could taste how crunchy that is, and just the light white flaky crappie in there. My homemade tartar sauce is nothing but mayonnaise, use sweet relish, salt, pepper, a little garlic salt, and secret ingredient, mustard powder. We're cooking in Poppy's kitchen. You got to toast that bun too. That was a fresh caught fish from yesterday. Homemade tartar sauce, homemade fish batter, Long John Silver style, half a piece of cheese, and a brioche bun. This is what the fish looked like. 350 degrees, 360 to 370 probably. In the oil. Crunchy, outside white, tender, flaky. I want to thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications, and I will see you guys on the next one.